Thickosaurus Podcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Thickosaurus Podcast. I am your host, Melissa. And today, you already know we got
Molly.
Michelle.
Anna.
Yas.
Yeah.
Yes. So guess what? We're gonna be talking about today. I hate
Okay.
how that sounds, but we're gonna do relationship advice on Reddit.
Oh, on Reddit.
Yes, on Reddit.
I've seen some or I've heard some, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
y'all need help.
Like we're giving relationship advice, or they're asking for
I mean,
relationship.
they're asking.
Oh,
relationship
okay.
advice.
Yeah, they're asking relationship advice, and we're just going to give it. Okay.
Okay.
So let's jump right into it. Let me see. So this one was 7 hours ago, and the title is it abusive if my boyfriend, 24 male, poured my 24 female milk down the drain? I don't know what to feel. Please help.
Is it abusive?
Yes.
Okay.
Again, I have not read these before, so I'm going in it blind with y'all. Okay.
Okay.
It says, okay, so my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years, and we recently moved in together. So I was sitting in the kitchen drinking some milk. My boyfriend often makes jokes about me drinking milk and calls it disgusting and weird that I enjoy the taste of it alone. I've always laughed about it because I know many people who makes these kinds of milk jokes. I like drinking milk anyway. So I was sitting in the kitchen drinking some of my milk when my boyfriend calls out from the living room, "Are you drinking milk?" I said, "Yes." And he came storming into the kitchen. It all happened so fast I didn't know what was happening. He took the milk carton and emptied all of the milk into the kitchen sink. I called out, "What are you doing?" And he said something along the lines of that, "This will teach me a lesson not to do it anymore." I was so surprised and scared. My boyfriend has never done anything like this before. He's a very loving and gentle man usually. I've stood up and went into the bedroom to process what has happened. After a short while, he came in apologizing and saying he will buy me new milk now. He's now left the apartment to buy me new milk. I'm so confused and I don't know what to make of this.
What's with him and milk?
Yeah, like what's his problem?
Boy, you got beef with milk. Are you what? Was it vegan? No, not vegan. Is it?
Yeah,
that's
it's vegan.
Or
That's
is he vegan?
No, because she would have said so.
I just think that he wants to make it to ruin her day, because she's doing something that's not harmful at all, and she's just enjoying herself. And there are some guys out there, unfortunately, some that like to be the killjoy of their significant other or girlfriend when like they see their girl is happy and they're like, let me ruin it. Because it doesn't sound like he, at least she didn't give us information why he did it, like if he had an allergic reaction or like,
Right.
There's
There's
no
not enough
background.
There's not enough background detail.
All she said was that he always found it odd, strange, or weird that she loves milk enough to be able to drink it on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's kind of like, but what does that have to do with you?
well, if most people always are a projection of their feelings, so I'm guessing something must have happened with him where someone treated him like that and made him unlearn that, so he feels like it's okay to do that to her. So to answer her question, if it's abusive, I would say, I don't know if it's abusive, I would say it's manipulative.
What do the comments say?
So somebody said his words, quote unquote, teaching you a lesson. is what's scary. He's not your parent. You should be very alarmed by that.
I agree. She should be very alarmed. And honestly, if this is the very first time that he's done it, being me, I would think something happened in his day to have triggered that or something.
Because what, they've been together for what, you said
2 years?
2 years.
And this is the first time he's ever done it?
or something brought up to him that is triggering it recently.
Okay. Since it's his first offense, I personally would probably sit down with him and be like, okay, what is this really about? Because and if he can't give me a straight answer and it's just something really stupid, I'll be like, okay, you need to fix yourself or something because this is ridiculous.
Yeah, someone said, or something she was eating. Like, how is that even a crime to be punished? It makes no sense and is super alarming. It reminds me of the post about a guy who kept trying to force mustard on his wife. Like, you can't cope with your you can't cope with your partner's culinary tastes. You need some real problems. Original post, I would straight up tell him, first of all, if he ever comments on milk again, you're done. And second, if he ever throws away or destroys anything of yours again, you're done. And then she says, sometimes it takes a few years for abuse to set in. Big life changes like moving in, getting married, having a baby can be the trigger that sets it all off.
Yep.
Be very wary.
Wary.
Wary? Yeah.
Wary, like be more
cautious.
attentive. Yeah.
And be ready to go if you need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she did say they recently moved in together.
Yeah. That's what I'd say. I would have a chat with him, be like, what's going on?
No, that putting down your boundaries is good because that will set the tone that you're not trying to mess around.
Yeah.
And I would also say to stick with what you said too, because otherwise he's not going to see you seriously. When you put your boundaries down, he'll just chalk it up to like, oh, she's going to give in or whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah. Is it abusive? I don't think so.
Probably
Because-
not.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where you kind of have to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
It is a red flag.
It'd be like a little red flag, a little bit.
It's like definitely putting a pin in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming back to it later.
Yeah. Yes.
So-
Definitely be more wary.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I want to know about this mustard story because people are saying that post is crazy. So I'm like, and somebody linked it. So let me see.
I hate when people do that. It's kind of like,
Yeah.
why you gotta be so mean about it?
That's like that one
Jeez.
where the husband like pranks his wife all the time. And I think the last straw was when he gave her or gave his friends like some kind of like drink that had like his wife's like breast milk in it or something like that.
What the hell?
And didn't tell them till like the last minute.
Damn, this is a long one
Oh boy.
because it has multiple updates.
Well, good. Those are
To
the
it.
good ones.
Yeah. This is back in 2022.
That is
Oh, so
weird,
it's
though,
pretty
because
fancy.
just because someone doesn't like something, you can't force it onto them. or
I know.
make fun
That's
of them.
it's
Yeah.
like what person thinks of it that way? But
Certain people,
it's so stupid.
my way or the highway.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this one is my husband cannot accept I don't like mustard. Things came to a head yesterday, and this was in 2022. Okay. It says, we've been married 2 years, dating 5. We're both 34. I'm a woman, he's a man, if it matters. I'm not picky eater. In fact, I'm quite adventurous, and every time I've traveled, I've always made it a point to try new dishes with unusual, uncommon ingredients to say that I've tried them. There are very few foods I won't eat. One of them is mustard, the condiment. I don't like it. I just don't. The taste is very strong and overpowering, and it's just an unpleasant taste. I've tried yellow, stone ground, honey, artisan, brown, spicy, you name it. I've tried them all, and I just don't like them. My husband, for some reason, never understood this. He loves mustard, especially honey mustard. He puts it on all his sandwiches, dips his fries in it. And every time he tries to force me to try it, He'll insist I'll like it this time. I'm a grown-ass woman. I know what I don't like, and I don't like mustard. So I'll say no, and it'll dissolve into a mini argument where he'll call me picky. Well, last night we were on the road home from a weekend trip we took together, and he stopped at a gas station to get us a quick bite. He got a hot dog slathered in mustard. I got one but decided to keep it plain. I don't really love hot dogs to begin with, but I'll eat them. While we waited in line, he asked what I got on mine. I told him nothing. He actually got furious and grabbed it from me. He marched over to the condiment station and began putting mustard on my hot dog, telling me to grow up and stop being picky. I just walked out and sat in the car. I didn't even want the goddamn hot dog anymore. My appetite was gone. He came back and began screaming at me for embarrassing him even further. The word divorce was said for the first time ever. He secretly recorded his screaming because I secretly recorded his screaming because I was genuinely afraid I would die. He was driving erratically, swerving and speeding. I'm in a hotel tonight. He ignored me all day at work, and the call started around when he realized I wasn't coming home. Non-stop voicemails and texts. He sent me a screenshot of Google search for local divorce lawyers. I haven't eaten all day, and I've been sobbing in this damn hotel room. I don't want to get divorced, and I wish I had just ate the fucking mustard. Someone, anyone, please give me an explanation. Am I in danger? Why would he react this way to a preference of mine? I'm completely broken now. That's the original post. I don't know if you guys want to talk about it and then go to the update.
Probably.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, red flag. Girl, you stay in that hotel room and yeah, pick a lawyer. Because that is ridiculous. That is child attitude. Right there. Childish attitude.
And you guys are what, 34?
Yeah, she said, I'm a grown-ass woman. Don't tell me what I don't like.
Exactly. And keep to what you say. You know, it's clearly a boundary, and we all love boundaries, you know, and he obviously does not care about your boundary or what you like or don't like. He seems to think he knows better for you. So it's obviously, it's obvious that you need to leave. You know, because when he realized that you weren't coming home, it wasn't like apologies or whatever that he was sending you. He sent you a screenshot of Google divorce lawyers.
Yeah.
So it's time to go, honey. Over effing mustard? Are you serious? Imagine if this is something else.
Like, imagine if this was your kid.
Because that's ridiculous. How childish can you be over mustard? Mustard.
Like, Molly and Anna just, like, sitting there.
All I thought was Alice in Wonderland. Mustard. I hate mustard. That's all I thought of. Okay, Mad Hatter, chill.
Oh, my God.
And then he's like the rabbit
Anna?
over here.
I think I just want to add on that her thought process of saying I should have just ate the hot dog with the mustard.
No.
Like, people in those situations, I want to say, like, even if you ate the hot dog with the mustard, how do you know that he's not going to bring up that same topic again? Because you just kind of swallowed your pride and ate it now. So, yeah, that's...
He's now going to think, if I make a big enough scene, she'll just do it.
Or like, oh, she'll fall under pressure and do
Yeah.
it. So,
And I feel like he'll use that against her. Be like, well, you ate it that one time. Why can't you do it again?
yeah.
Yep.
I just feel for you, girl, when you said that. Because I'm like, oh, man. It's this thing that I saw on TikTok. And then, like, for people that are in relationships that essentially that's abusive, I feel like. And they say, like, don't focus on the why, focus on the what. Because at the end of the day, he still mistreated you and still disrespected you. So it's not always the why. Go with the what. But I'm ready for the update.
Okay, so this update, I'm guessing because I'm guessing the original post got like taken down.
Yeah, the original post is probably taken down, and then someone else
Yeah, somebody else reposted,
reposted the
everything.
original.
And so this is update 1, and so the title is I can't respond since my post got deleted. So I'm guessing she's answering questions from the original post that we can't see.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm like, so this part, I'm like scanning over it, it may be totally different from what the original story was talking about.
Okay.
Okay, so just kind of bear with me. I think it all comes together. Okay, so update 1. Some answers I guess to questions I saw. Oh, some answers I guess to questions that the original poster saw. Regarding when I said no to sex, he respected. Sorry, hold on. Regarding when I said no to sex, he respected if I said no to having sex, but he would ask for blowjobs over and over. I used to give in at first until I started dreading doing it. He tried buying all the stuff to make me like it, to make it easier or whatever. I used to like blowjobs. I don't like giving them to him. But he'll still ask over and over. I started responding with, I said no. Are you going to force me to do it? And he'd get squeamish and offended that I implied that he would rape or assault me. If I had a support system, no. I've always been very small circle kind of person, and I lost touch with casual college friends. My friends are his. He makes me feel like I am a loser, but I don't really have friends of my own. My parents are dead. My dad died when I was a teen, and my mom recently passed of heart failure. I have no siblings. I'm financially capable of living on my own, and I could pay for divorce. I just really don't want things to be this way. The mustard thing was always just an annoyance to me. I didn't consider it a deal breaker, but obviously it was for him. We have no kids and no equity. Our finances are separate, save from one joint account we equally contribute for bills. We're looking at buying a house. I am safe. I am at work, and I'm staying in the hotel until further notice. He has continued to text. One message said he loves me and he doesn't want to lose me, but I've forced his hand by refusing to communicate or come home. I haven't answered. I don't know what to say. I forced myself to eat my favorite takeout late last night, but it tasted like cardboard. I stayed up late compiling a list of every time he has shown worrying behavior. I guess the mustard is the tip of the iceberg. I'm sorry, that's already a red flag that you have no friends. Your friends are his. That's kind of like the foundation of abusive.
Abuse, kind of closing you off to everybody else,
Yeah.
to where he just has
You to control.
and you have nobody to run to.
Yeah, that's kind of the foundation of abuse a little bit.
Yeah, girl, what's I'm sorry. I know it's because I'm not in these situations, but it's kind of like you obviously don't want to go home. You haven't forgiven him. And you're not responding to his messages. And he's done this before, obviously. So why are you still trying to save it? Or think that you can work things out?
I don't know if she says. I don't know if she's like thinking it'll work out. I think that it's hard for her to probably come to terms that they've got to this part of their relationship, because it sounds like he's technically her only support, and that
The
she
only
doesn't want
person.
to lose the only stable thing that she has.
Okay.
And also, getting a divorce is not as easy as people think. People
Right.
decide that on a daily basis if they want to stay with that person or if they want to, like leave. So it's not really easy to determine if they want to, like leave. But it's good that she's financially stable and that she's able to move if she needs to, because that's also one thing that hinders most people to leave, because they can't support themselves financially. So they're kind of stuck.
Right, and that's what I was afraid of. I was like, I'm afraid she's going to be like, I'm not financially stable. Like, we share everything. I'm like, oh my God, girl.
Yeah.
Now that's when you're in a very abusive environment.
Yeah. I mean, but obviously she can do fine by herself. So But I mean, it's okay. I understand divorce is not as easy as people think, but she should definitely put that on the table and hopefully, eat from it soon instead of looking for advice on Reddit.
I think also that she should consider seeking professional help, like a therapist,
For herself?
yes,
Okay.
because she's been kind of like, it sounds like she's teetering.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know what to do, but she hasn't like leaned on trying to save it because it doesn't sound like she's trying to save it.
Yeah.
But she's also not trying to divorce, but she knows like these are the list of the things why I should divorce, and these are the things why technically it's still good. So she should go and see a professional because since she doesn't have support, like her family or her friends, then that professional therapist can help her figure it out because it's kind of traumatic if you think about it, what she went through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Okay, update number 2. Title, Thank you for being so kind. A quick ramble before bed. She says, Sincerely thank you all for your kind words as well as sending me links to resources. He has reverted back and has told me he never wants to see me again. So I suppose that gives me time to read that book that someone on RA suggested me. I will admit while I was at work, I was thinking of the lonely room waiting for me after 5. I considered just going home, but I knew what awaited me. I'm too drained to muster up the kind of apology he would be expecting in order for things to go back to normal. I honestly fear that our normal is detrimental to me. I also don't want to apologize. I don't think that I did anything wrong, and you all helped validate that.
Correct.
I always felt like I was the one disturbing the peace. He'd get so upset over things that were little to no effort for me to just do or go along with because I loved him. And somewhere along the way, I think I lost myself. I never liked mustard. I never liked golf or camping or red wine. But he loves all these and wanted me to love them too. He said he was introducing me to his hobbies so we would have shared interests as a couple. But I've realized that out of all the things I used to like, he has either refused or tried to ignore my interests. Our shared interests are just his. God, how do I feel like my own person again? My world broke not 2 days ago, and now I am drunk at a hotel bar switching between Reddit and researching divorce lawyers. I still don't want a divorce. It's so permanent. I never pictured myself a divorcee. I used to think that every choice I made deliberately. It used to be a point of pride for me, but he's making this choice for me, and it hurts. Okay. Anything?
Is that the last of it?
Nope.
Oh.
I'm ready for the next update.
Yeah.
This one says final update, but there's an update after this one.
Okay.
Okay, so it says final update. I am leaving him. First of all, I took this week off at the encouragement of my employer. I plan to spend it finding a therapist that specializes in domestic abuse and sexual assault, which I've come to realize I am a victim of. I feel completely numb. I'm also looking into a divorce lawyer. Secondly, he found the hotel where I was staying. I guess he followed me from work. He was waiting in the lobby. God, my heart skipped a beat, and I realized that I did not miss him at all. I was afraid of making a scene. Parentheses. I need to go unlearn that. So, I sat with him in the lounge area and talked. I'll summarize it.
Good girl, staying in the lounge area.
Yeah. I pointed out the security camera and said that if he tried to hurt me, there'd be footage and I would press charges without a second thought. He was completely shocked and said he'd never hurt me. I reminded him how I feared for my life in the car. He ignored me. He asked why I wasn't coming home. I was completely blank-faced when I told him, because you're divorcing me. He said that he didn't mean it and he was just upset. I said, when normal people are upset, they express it in a healthy way. You threatened to end our marriage. I'm taking you seriously. He got pissed and asked if I was saying he wasn't normal. Honestly, I just wanted the conversation to be done. So I told him if that's really all he heard, then there was no point of talking anymore. I told him I was looking for a lawyer and he should probably do the same if he hasn't found one. He lashed out and said, all this over one mistake? And
Oh, honey, please.
I just stared at him. I just made as sorry. I just stared at him as I made I'm guessing as I made my way to stand up. He grabbed my wrist hard and pointed at the camera again. This made him even angrier. He never could handle slights to his ego. One mistake. It wasn't one mistake. It was a pattern of abuse over years. It was threatening me, intimidating me. I told him if he tries to contact me again beyond sending me his lawyer details, I'll be calling the police. He let me go. I want to say I was badass and celebrated in my room. I collapsed onto the bed and began sobbing. I was just so sick and angry and sad. He truly doesn't care about me. I've been crying on and off while calling local therapists. God, why is it so hard to find one? The amount of therapists that advises but turns out to not be accepting new patients is unacceptable. I've looked into victims of DV/DA support groups as well. In the span of less than a month, my life completely changed. And he isn't remorseful at all. He just thinks it's all my fault. Damn, good for you, girl.
Smart girl.
Good for you. Okay, another update. I think this is the last. Yeah, this is the last
She
update.
probably wanted to give a follow-up to her final update.
Yes. Okay. I have a divorce lawyer. That's all I'm comfortable with revealing on here for the time being. I will also mention that I have moved locations. I am safe and secure. My work has allowed me to go fully remote. My soon-to-be ex does not have my location, nor are there any trackers on my phone. I am in contact with people and organizations who are helping me. Earlier this week, the calls and texts really ramped up. I was advised to leave him unblocked and simply mute so his messages would come through. I read a few since I was curious. He wanted me at Thanksgiving dinner with his family. He begged me to stop being this way, and what was he supposed to tell his family? Well, Thursday came and went. I had bought a couple of ready meals the night before, so that was my feast. I do want to take a break here to talk about my mom. Since it was only 3 of us every holiday, except for rare times my friends would come over, my mom wouldn't make turkey. She would buy rotisserie chicken and dress up with stuffing, etc. She made dishes we loved rather than traditional Thanksgiving dishes. My favorite side dish of all time was French fries. My dad loved grilled asparagus with cheese, so we would have rotisserie chicken with French fries, asparagus, and some garlic toast, my mom's favorite. The first time I had a real traditional Thanksgiving food was at my friend's house. I apparently told my mom loudly I didn't like it and asked where the fries were. Haha. So this year, instead of my soon-to-be ex-husband's family's Thanksgiving food, I bought asparagus, fries, garlic toast, and a couple of slices of rotisserie chicken. It wasn't half as good as my mother's meal, but when I say I cried eating it, it felt like they were there with me that night.
Aww.
I guess my absence at dinner forced my soon-to-be ex-husband to tell his family that I was separated from him. So Friday morning, I got a phone call from an unfamiliar number. I answered it, thinking maybe it was my lawyer's home phone or another person I was in contact with. It was my mother-in-law. She tried to beg me not to hang up on her, so I stayed on the line. She went on about how I was her daughter, she loved me, her son loved me, and how could I leave him over something so minor. He only told his mom about the mustard. And even then, it was watered-down version that made me look like a neurotic control freak who needed everything my way. According to my mother-in-law, he just made a side cup of it for me and asked me to try it in the car, and I started screaming I'd divorce him. She then started probing about which lawyer I was seeing and what I had told them. So she also reminded me that lying in court was a crime. My lawyer had warned me not to reveal anything we had discussed to his family. I took all my willpower not to say anything. Instead, I hung up and muted her number. She hasn't texted or tried to call again. Trust me, I would love to send the recording of her son screaming, saying he ought to smack me upside the head, calling me a stubborn bitch, and he would divorce me, and that he would run the car off the fucking road if I didn't start acting right. I wanted to scream into the phone that her precious son started this mess and I was simply doing what he wanted. I've come to realize that you don't treat someone you love like the way he has acted. Normal people do not want to have sex with someone who has already said no. Normal people don't keep pushing and obsessing over food preferences. There's something seriously wrong with that man. He texted me last night, Friday, calling me a bitch for making his mother cry. He also said he would come and find me, and it would take more than a locked door to keep him from getting to me and taking me home.
Wow.
I forwarded those to the right people. I know this isn't a happy update, but things are moving along quite nicely. Yeah. And that's the
That's
end.
why he's like that. His mom's like that.
Yeah.
His mom is an enabler. Thinks her son is just a little angel and that he couldn't possibly act the way that he did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I could never be that mom. And all I have are boys. You know?
She'll be like, "What did you do?" She'll be
Yeah.
like to her son.
Yeah.
I'd be like, what did you do? Tell me what happened. You know? So I'll
Yeah.
get his side and then I'll get their side of the story. You know?
I think for your boys, I'm more worried it's gonna be the other way around, where like they're abusing them, or the wife or whoever
yeah.
is abusing
Abusing
your
them.
boys.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Don't test me, future significant others. Okay? I'm not going to be one of those quiet mother-in-laws or whatever. I will throw hands for my babies.
Yeah, she's gonna take that little stepping stool, get on it, and smack you.
Throw a chocolate too.
Yeah.
It's like, and don't forget, they grew up with three other mothers too,
Mm-hmm.
that were like a piece of that.
Yeah.
Excuse me? They're not my child, but
We wrote
I'm just like,
yeah, I'm gonna fight like
Well,
they're my
but
child.
For me, what I imagine is you getting on your stepping stool, like talking to them, and then you'll be like, "Don't look down on me," and they'll be like, I can't.
Get on your knees.
Yeah.
Get on your knees, ho.
Sit down.
Exactly. Sit down so I can talk to you. Oh. Well, at least that story has a good ending
Yeah, and
so far.
that means that she has a. That means that for her age, I feel like it's a very mature thing to do,
Mm-hmm.
and good on her for like keeping her boundaries set, because not a lot of people can do that, especially if like they have baggage.
Mm-hmm.
Putting their foot down like that, it's not easy. So I'm very proud of her.
Yeah, for real. Like, she figured all that out in less than a month. And she was ready to, whoop.
Yeah.
A lot of girls would sit there and be like, oh, no, he loves me. There's more good times than bad times.
Or it's just
So I'll
Or-
go back.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or just like teetering between like, and feeling bad.
He doesn't hit me, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Honestly, she's better than me of not sending that recording to his mom.
But then but then it's like, but you can't use it in court anymore though. That's the thing.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's like, ooh, girl.
But like, I'll send you a personal invite to the court.
Yeah.
It's against the law to lie in court.
That's
Okay, you can tell
crazy.
your son that.
Yeah.
Remind your son that as well.
See, I'm petty. Like, ever since my work trauma,
Mm-hmm.
I record everything, man. I'm sorry. Like, I don't really know you. I don't know where this meeting is gonna go down with. So, in the state of Oklahoma, I can record you.
Yeah.
So,
So,
don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. Okay. Oh, but good for her though. She figured it out, and she was smart to do it in the lobby and point out, there's cameras there, and if you put any hands on me, I will be suing you.
oh yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's sad, like, just looking at it, not like feeling bad for him, but it's like, man, a lot of men don't know how to regulate their emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing that they can think of is just to kind of lash out.
Yeah.
But then in reality, because I've been seeing a lot of like videos and stuff online, that a lot of men relate their masculinity to violence. That's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
their violence and ability to control.
So I'm just like, dang. All that. What, they were married for
2 years?
2 years down the drain. But then she put herself through that total through 5 years, right? Because
They were married for 2 years, and I think they were
No,
dating
together for
together
five.
for 5.
Oh. Because she says she's 34.
Yep.
Mhm.
Wow. So then they got together when she was still pretty young then.
Yeah. Because I'm just like, it's just so crazy to me. Like, if you don't like mustard, cool. I won't put it on you, on your thing. I'd be like, oh, you like ketchup instead? I'll get you ketchup. Or if you want a plain, cool. That's cool. Like, I don't understand it. I don't.
Unless that's the way like he was raised, because they didn't really say anything about his dad. You know,
So you're thinking
it
that
could just be like what he
his-
grew up with.
He probably had parents who forced him to eat what he didn't want to eat.
or force
Yeah.
him to do something that he doesn't want, and then
His opinion didn't really matter if he didn't
Yeah.
like it or not, kind of thing.
Yeah.
and who knows if
Based
he-
off the mom, but we haven't
Yeah.
heard about the dad. So
I mean, that could be a theory, is that
Yeah.
his relationship with his dad is not that good, and that's how he sees things, like being forced to do stuff, and that eventually that person will come around. That's why he kept saying, "Oh, you'll like it eventually." So that makes me wonder if he, like the perfect example is that mustard. What if he didn't like mustard, but they kept forcing it onto him, and then he quote unquote eventually liked it.
Yeah.
So
Because it's kind of like you don't think that unless someone else makes you think that.
yeah.
But then again, what she said about, like, he never liked anything of hers. Like, he found it not interesting and he didn't want to do it.
Right.
like didn't even bother to like
Yeah.
try it or anything.
Yeah, so to me, it was just very spoiled sounding to me. Like, his mom
Spoil-
did everything. Yeah,
yes.
spoiled him for that. Because it's kind of like, dude, man, that's so childish.
You guys are in your 30s.
Yeah, that's so fucking childish, man. Like, what's the point of your shared interests? It's just your interests that you made her do because she loved you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you don't reciprocate that with her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's just childish. Anyways, that one was pretty long.
Yeah.
It was a good one though.
It was a good one. So yeah, so I don't think we really have an advice on that. She kind of did everything what we would have told her
To do.
to do, and so that was
That was
pretty
good.
good. Mhm.
That was a really good story. A good
Yeah.
turnout.
Again, she did it all in a month, yo. That's girl power, dude.
But that was like a couple years ago, so who knows if it's done already, like it's resolved.
oh yeah.
Could be still going.
That's true too, because the court system is kind of long, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Or he's just refusing to do certain things.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's good.
Okay, next one says, title is, I, female 32, got wasted. My boyfriend, male 34, is disappointed and disgusted with me. How can I solve this?
What you say, like drunk?
Yeah, wasted, like drunk.
Okay.
Yeah. And my boyfriend is disappointed and disgusted with me. How can I solve this?
I'm ready.
Okay, she says, it's been a crazy week for me. The whole month was stressful at work. This month's end, I went to a party to celebrate a former coworker's last day in our last job together. I was confident to keep taking shots as I had a full dinner prior, and I was thinking they are already tipsy while I'm still sober. And then it hit me. I blacked out. All I remember is that I was vomiting in the car, my face held to the window to keep my vomit out. My boyfriend was working at home for his night shift. Got me out of my friend's car, but was still shocked I can't walk. I can't even sit in the chair. I was still vomiting, and he was so stressed to leave me. In bed leave me on our bed as I might choke with my vomit. It was the drunkest I have ever been. I'm ashamed. I know it's a mistake. I can't live without him, and right now it's been 2 days of no talking. He looks at me angry. I know it's all on me. How can I get us over this?
I feel like we're missing a piece of the story.
I know. I'm like,
Like, he's
like-
just mad after. I'm guessing she woke up and then he just had no contact. Like he didn't say anything.
Is this like? Does this occur often, or something?
I'm trying to look.
Because at face value, right there, I'll just say he's a douche.
Well, he was working, right? So he probably was. I'm trying to look at it as his point too. I guess like he was mad that he had to take care of her while he was also still having to work at home.
But if you're working from home, you're obviously doing it off a computer, right?
Yes, but that's assuming that the computer's in the bedroom, because remember she said that he didn't want to leave her on the bed because she might choke on her vomit.
He probably has a separate office room.
That's what I'm thinking. So
Then I would have left her in the bathroom, hugged the toilet or something. But that's just me, though.
well, then she was saying that she could barely keep herself up, like her body upright, because she was so that wasted.
Okay. Unless she's like a drunkard and is doing that like often, I don't see the reason why he would be so mad at her to where he doesn't talk to her for a couple days or look at her in disgust.
I'm just mad at him for not talking. Like, that was drunk her. You could have at least addressed this to the sober her. And
Yeah.
then be like, hey, last night was not cool. Just, because everybody has those moments, unfortunately, when they, like, if they do drink too much or, like, they don't mean to do something.
Right.
Of course, that is, like, limited to certain things because you don't say that when you're cheating and stuff like that.
Yes.
But, so that's why I'm like, there was no communication. It was kind of like his fault, too, because he just stonewalled her and didn't say anything to her.
Yeah.
So I feel like, don't beat yourself up, girl. If that really is how it is, where you woke up and he just stared at you with like a stink face and didn't say anything, then it's like, well, shoot, I'm not gonna talk about it. Like you gotta. I can't read your mind. If you're upset with me, say something.
Yeah, exactly. And what can you do to make it better?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Because you can't control how people feel and how they react. You can only control yourself and how you react. Yeah, you might be embarrassed that you were drunk and throwing up everywhere.
Sure. Yeah, apologize for that. Apologize for taking it too far, for drinking and making a mess and making a fool of yourself. But that's pretty much all you can do. But with him feeling disgusted with you and that pissed off, it's like, really, dude?
What are you really mad at, dude?
That she was out partying without you?
What is the underlying thing? Like, what are you really mad at? Because this kind of reminds me of the previous story with the mustard. It's like, what are you really mad at?
So I'm trying to find like if there's an update with the original poster because I'm like reading everybody's comments. And
How old is this?
this was like 16 hours ago.
Then probably she has no update.
Yeah, so like, but like I said, reading the comments, it sounds, I don't know where they're getting this information from, but reading the comments, it sounds like this is not her first time doing it. Like she has a drinking problem.
Oh.
See, that answers our question.
Okay,
Yeah,
then.
that's what the comments are saying. But I'm like, where are you guys getting this information that she had said that
Unless
she
they
has a
know
drinking
who the
problem?
person is.
Yeah. Yeah, because people are like, as an alcoholic, or I left my husband who drank like this a lot, and I was tired of his shit, kind of thing.
Well, because they say that like when you like with the alcohol problem, they say that when you black out, they say some people deem that as equivalent as an overdose of drinking, like or when you overdose on drugs. So that means that like she basically went too far.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's hard. Unless, yeah, that's the missing piece is whether this happens on a regular basis or not.
Yeah. So apparently, again, that's what people in the comments are saying.
Because just based
that
on
like he's probably tired of your shit. Like this is not the first time that you've done this. If he's not talking to you.
yeah, I don't know if they're just assuming that or where
Yeah.
they're reading it from. But I mean, one of the green flags is that he didn't want her to choke on her vomit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause if he was a douche, then he would have just left you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know either, but it can go either way. Either he's a douche or
He's tired of your
he's
shit.
tired of your shit, yo. I don't know what else to say because I don't think she ever posted
Yeah.
another one. Okay, anyways,
Yeah,
next
that's
one.
why I don't really read the recent ones because those usually don't have any updates. But I don't know how that really works.
I don't know either. Dang, this one was like 50 minutes ago.
Yep, that's what I was saying. Yes, I don't.
But I want to know the tea.
That's you go for the old ones that have updates.
Okay, let me see an older one. Jesus.
Jesus, take the wheel. I forgot.
Yeah.
Take it from my
hands.
Dude, I saw
Something.
while she's looking at it, we can talk. Do you know that I saw a video? Side note, that Miley Cyrus was like sing because she doesn't do big performances anymore. She just does small intimate groups, and she was singing live. And then she was like, "I can sing anything, guys. I can even sing The Climb." And they were like, "Do it!"
Oh boy.
And so she did sing it.
Oh yeah.
And then everybody was like, "Oh, so good."
Aw. It's the climb.
I can almost see it.
Okay, so this one's 16 days ago. So hopefully that's
Enough
enough
time.
time. Yeah. Okay, it says, title is, I called out my 31... Okay, I'm guessing he's 31 male, called out my wife, a 30 female, ungrateful. Canceled our date and left her in the car to cry. How do I make her feel what I feel?
Okay.
I don't like the way you worded that.
I know.
But okay.
Usually when guys post their stories on there, they're at fault. So let's see where this goes.
Yeah, just already, again, I don't like the way you worded that title. But okay, well, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. It says, my wife and I have been together for 2 years now, just got married recently. We are compatible in every other way except when it comes to her idea of gestures and how she feels love. She actually really likes traditional romantic things. It doesn't come naturally to me, but I oblige because it makes her happy. One of the things she wanted me to do on one of our dinners together was for me to pick her up in my car, get her flowers, open the door for her, and other stuff that she wanted me to do. We live in a very convenient spot for which we can get things delivered in just under 5 to 7 minutes through the online app. I had forgotten to get flowers for her, so last minute I had ordered it off the app. They were beautiful, and she said that she was really happy about the gesture. I said, no worries, I can get you flowers every day. Somehow I ended up blurting out that I ordered it off of the app. Her expression immediately changed, and she said she didn't feel special anymore. Like it was as good as gifting her a bag of Doritos because no real effort went on my part. She angrily said she would have felt at least a little special had I placed an order directly from the florist I had researched on the first the app I ordered flowers from, which is the same app she orders stuff on a whim when we run out of things such as bread. Okay, first of all, that sentence made no
No sense.
no sense. Okay. I was feeling frustrated at this point and admittedly I got mad at her because it felt so silly that I felt unappreciated from the lack of gratitude when she had said my gesture didn't feel thoughtful anymore. I said, was the gift thoughtless or are you thankless? She started crying. I ended up leaving her in the car downstairs in the complex and headed upstairs as I no more felt like having dinner with her. That was it.
I'm sorry. She's at fault, in my opinion.
I would just been okay with just the flowers. To be like, it'd be understandable. He said that did he tell her that he forgot and he just ended up buying it online, or
No,
he just said,
admitted that he bought it off the app. That's what he said.
That's it.
Yeah.
"I mean,
'Cause-
flowers."
Okay, girl, it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it's just old me because I've been in a relationship for so long. But it's kind of like, would you rather have had him forget totally and not get you any flowers? Or would you have rather him forget and be like, oh, I can get it through the app because I remembered she likes to receive flowers from me and then get you flowers like that. You know?
Yeah.
So it's like, which one do you want? You know, I mean, because he's human. He can forget things here and there. You know. So, in my old ass opinion, I think she was doing a little too much. But
I think
that's me.
that they're both at fault. So there's this thing that, I mean, there needs to be some grace. It's a misunderstanding that they both could have come together and talked about. You know, just to like explain, like kind of like what you said, where he is human and he may have forgotten, and that also that he took the time to do what she asked, because she told him what her needs were, and he did it.
Yes, he obliged.
And then she also needs to admit to the fact that because he took the effort and did that, you know, that's okay. Or they both need to be like okay with what is going on. They both need help. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's something, okay, feelings were hurt, yes.
On both
But
ends, yeah.
on both ends. He felt unappreciated, valid, and she also felt like, from her point of view, that he didn't put effort into it. But I think that people putting effort into romantic gestures and stuff like that is kind of like communication. Like, people see it in a different way. So they both need to find a way, either get professional help and go to therapy together, because it seems like you guys don't know how to communicate, honestly.
Yeah.
And then second of all, you guys need to like create a space where you guys need to be able to like say, these are what my needs and my standards are, and compromise, because that's how it is when you are two human beings together. So I think personally both are at fault, because he shouldn't have just walked away. I mean, it sucked, but they both needed to basically go on a timeout and then come back and talk to each other again, like grown adults.
Yeah. No, I agree. Again, maybe it's just because we are very
Low maintenance.
low maintenance girls. So man, if you gave me flowers and you delivered it off an app, I don't
wouldn't
care.
It's like, you thought of me.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, I love it. You know, like that's me. I don't know. You thought of me. You know, I like that. If you bought me Doritos, I would like that too.
Yeah.
I don't care.
It's like, I follow this influencer on TikTok, and she's part of the LGBTQ community, and this is a long time ago, but she was going on a first date with her now girlfriend, and she was telling us that her date then, her girlfriend now, was late to their date, and the reason why the date was late is because the date had forgotten to buy her flowers. So she stopped by a store to grab some flowers before she went to the date to give to her, and that's why she was late. So it just reminded me of that, because it's like, yes, it irked you that she wasn't punctual, but the reason why she wasn't punctual is because she thought of you and remembered that you liked flowers, so she took the time to go get flowers, even though it made her late to the date. Right?
Yeah.
So it's just like that, you know. For us, it's like, okay, you're a little late, but the reason why you were late is because you were thinking of me and getting flowers.
Yeah, or like a lot of therapists say that like someone like her, I feel like she lives in her head a lot, aka me, and makes up like scenarios in her head a lot, and it's kind of like you can't do that. Okay, because it's not real.
Yeah, life's not like that.
Okay,
honey.
life's not a movie. You can't. He can't like come up and pick you up and do all this romantic gesture stuff. I mean, like there are some people who can, okay, because they like that,
Mhm.
you know, and it comes naturally to them. But like with your husband, that doesn't come natural to him.
And he's willing to try.
Yeah.
And he's trying,
Yes.
you know, and so yeah, girl, you're kind of living in your head a little bit. Are you an Aquarius? Because yeah, because that's some shit I would do, you know. But like, I would know that like Melissa, that's not realistic. Like, it's not. It's not a movie.
Yeah.
That's why I say like
Okay.
it's not all just her fault. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, there's some communication
Mhm.
Yeah,
issues going on here, and they both just need to sit down and talk about that.
yeah. Because I think what kind of makes me think about it is that it's your wife. You've been together for 2 years, and you're compatible in every other way except when it comes to her idea of gestures and how she feels love. So to me, it's kind of like, well, it's been 2 years. So how have you been expressing love to her? Does that make sense? Or how has she?
Been accepting of
Yeah,
what
of
how you
how
how
you
she
show
been
love.
accepting how
Yeah,
you
you
show
know?
love. Yeah.
Yeah, or like like what you said, does she live in her head and just expect certain things, and she didn't communicate that she wants
Yeah.
things this way?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, it's a lot of communicating. Be like, you know, I can't do all the gestures you want to do. So like maybe we can come to like an agreement on, you know, what would be a good gesture
Yes,
for
compromise.
you. Yeah.
Yes.
Would you rather have me give you flowers or would you rather have me I don't know. There's just a lot of communication. There's just a lot of talking, you know, just talk it out.
And also, it's kind of unfair for him because, like, society already has like this certain pressure that guys should be a certain way
Yeah.
in a relationship already. So I think it's already a win that he's willing to try, because it
Yeah.
sounds
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's not something that he would typically feel comfortable doing,
Yeah.
and that he's trying.
Yeah.
The effort is there.
Yes. The effort is there. That's why I said, girl, you in the wrong. Because he thought about you. You know? Even if it was
Yeah.
last minute, he thought about you. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like, even if he didn't go to a certain floral shop and handpicked every single flower that would go in the bouquet, which is, wow, really over the top. But,
I mean, there
Yeah.
are some men like that.
you know, and
That
right.
are
And it's great.
crazy.
You know, great for you if you have a guy like that. But if you don't have a guy like that, but is trying, yeah, like Liz said, you're kind of living in your head a bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a little,
Just a tiny bit.
yeah, just a tiny bit.
Just give him
So?
some grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably,
He's
he's
trying.
probably still new to this whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Or who knows? He might be like, I'm never doing it again.
Yeah.
The way that you did that. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Because some guys are better than. It's crazy. Some guys are really good at putting down their own boundaries than respecting other girls' boundaries. Like,
Yeah.
guys are really good at setting their boundaries.
Yeah, or like, again, since you guys been together for 2 years and you guys are married, so it's kind of like, is this something that he always does? Like, you've already communicated, like, no, this is what I want, and he's still
Yeah.
like effing up. Then okay, then I get it.
mm-hmm.
But again, you married him. You know, like 2 years dating. This should have been something that would have been like a first date or second, third date mistake or something. You know,
Mm-hmm.
kind of issue. So I don't know. I would have been him, left him in the car crying too.
Be like, I need to go. I need my space.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
I needed space from you.
Yeah.
If you want to sit here in the car and cry, you can sit here in the car and cry. If not, you can come with me upstairs and cry.
and then when you're done, we can
can
sit
talk.
together and talk.
Okay, but if you want to sit out here in the car and cry, that's your decision.
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you not to. But if you want to, fine. So, I don't know. Maybe we're just men.
No,
we're very low maintenance. We
we're
don't really
just-
care.
We're just old and we know what we want.
Okay, so let me read the comments. Someone said, quotations, how do I make her feel what I feel? in quotations, is a sediment that leads to divorce. You need to share your feelings without placing blame and effort to bridge the disconnect. Be humble enough to accept that you might not fully understand her position before immediately dismissing it. Seeking to make each other hurt because you were hurt is a cycle that leads to deep resentment.
Oh, I forgot we were
Okay.
supposed to answer that question.
Okay, yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Yes, the comment, you right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Wonder if there's a job where you're a therapist and your job is just to answer these Reddit questions as a therapist.
Could be.
As a therapist, you wouldn't answer that because that's like you're a chef and you come home and you cook. So I would say no.
Yeah.
True.
Unless they want to mess with people and they have like an anonymous account or an alt
Yeah,
account.
like that. When they just do it for fun, you know?
Yeah, they could. But like I said, it's kind of like a chef that cooks at work and then has to come home and cook. So who knows if they do that. They're tired of people.
Yeah. Someone said this whole post is a red flag. Hope she finds a man that will plant her flowers and pick them for the kitchen table as they bloom. That's true. But again, I feel like that's also her fault because that's what she wanted.
But probably did not communicate well.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what I'm saying. That's what I'm like. They're both at fault. Okay, I don't think the guy has the right to feel the way he feels.
Mm-hmm.
She has the right to feel the way that she feels. So they're both at fault. Again, you guys have been together for 2 years. This should have been something that should have been talked about.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when it comes to the way you feel loved. I feel like that should have been talked about.
Yeah. Agreed.
Um,
The importance of communication.
Someone says, this also reads to me that he has to feel it to understand it. He thinks she needs to feel like he does to understand it, like him. However, she likely has empathy, like most people, and the ability to understand what it's like to put oneself in another's shoes. This is also the reason she's upset in his shoes. He forgot and did low effort. He needs to turn on empathy and try to understand how she feels instead, not try to make her feel criticized or bad.
I mean, the way that he went about that is not right. But like you said, like how he felt is still valid. Because it would be hurtful that you did put at least some type of effort towards meeting your partner's needs, and then they turn around and say like, oh, not like this. And then you're like, okay, I don't know what you want me to do then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, again, I feel like if there was more information to it, like again, like if this is not his first time doing it, if this is a constant thing, then yeah, I would see why she's upset. But from the sounds of it, from what he said, it's just he just simply forgot.
Yeah.
So yeah, she said she was really happy about the gesture. I said, no worries, I can get you flowers every day. Somehow I ended up blurting out that I ordered it off the app. And then her expression immediately changed. And she said she don't feel special no more.
I'm
It's
sorry.
like as good as gifting her a bag of Doritos because no real effort went on in my part. I like Doritos.
It's, okay. It's the thought that counts.
counts, yo.
He thought about you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, he didn't do it to the T, but who does it to the T? Like, who's that perfect? Okay.
she just needs to just be like brought back down to earth and then reevaluate her needs.
Yes.
And like see what can happen. Like it's all about compromise.
Yeah. And then, if you really don't, like, if you really want somebody who does that for you without you having to remind them, then divorce him. Go find that person that you're wanting.
Or more like you should have found that person before marrying them.
Right. Or like things change and maybe that's what she wants.
Right.
That's fine. Then
Yeah.
divorce him and go find that person that you're wanting.
Well, I wouldn't jump to that first, but
But-
I would, as a mature adult, you would want to address your needs,
Yeah, that's what I'm
and
saying.
then if they're not willing to, then that's something that maybe is a deal breaker.
yeah, deal breaker, and you're like, no, I really want this in my partner, and I want to find somebody who does it without me having to remind them all the constant time, then good for you. the deal breaker. You know what your deal breaker is. Now go find what you want to go find. Nobody's stopping you. You know, but you just have to make sure that, is this relationship willing to break off just because he didn't buy me flowers? Or, sorry, he didn't
Buy me flowers the way I wanted
physically.
him.
Yeah.
The way I wanted
The
him
way
to
I
buy
wanted
it.
him to buy it. Because
Yes.
the end goal, he gave you
What you want.
what you wanted, and it was flowers.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I don't know. That one was kind of, I don't know.
Well, you know, like Anna says, both are at fault. She's a little delulu, and he, you know,
He shouldn't have
left.
that. Yeah. He can leave because he needs a little break. But him having that thought that he wants to make her feel how he feels, let's not go there, buddy. That's probably not the best way.
Yeah.
Like, you're looking for an argument, and if you are wanting to stay in that relationship, don't do that. That's very immature.
Yeah. Because, like, again, reading it, it just sounded like this is not the first time that she's got upset with him for not doing what she wants specifically done. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah.
I'm kind of like, who would say, how do I make her feel what I feel?
So you're thinking that's why you're thinking that it's more than once?
Yeah, that, like, she's very picky on what she wants. And this
But
is not the
then
first
it-
time that he's dealt with this before.
it also could have been how she was raised too, because we don't know her background either. If she was raised
Yeah,
to
like,
have
maybe that's how
high
her,
expectations,
because, like, maybe
for
her
men.
dad
Yeah.
did that to her all the time.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, there's a lot of things in play. It could be either how she was raised, or that's just how she is. She's very high maintenance. Because, man, I wouldn't care if it was door dashed flowers.
Or that you picked some flowers.
Pick
on
some
your way
flowers off
home.
the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot Cheetos. I don't care.
Or buy me
really don't.
chocolate, or just bought me something from the store Quick Trip.
I would fall in love with you if you bought me, like, tampons or pads in the exact size that I'm needing it. I don't care. And so, but yeah, so I guess that's the end of this episode. Hope you guys liked our relationship advice. If you guys didn't, let us know what your advice would be. We want to see different perspectives, because we like that. We like learning other people's perspectives. So comment down below if you guys have anything else to say. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you guys in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.